the totality of the problem is a much larger scope.
Yes.
It would require a multitude of things to take shape. And the reason I say that is because every year we hear in the teaching profession how many teachers we're losing versus those that are coming in. Every year you'll hear a story in August about many districts. While they may be more K through 12 than higher ed, they're always looking for teachers because this is not an easy profession to be successful in. And I think we need to do a multitude of things. But one of the things, and I'll use a technical term, we need to do better at succession planning. And here's my technical phrase, because we suck at it. I don't know about you, but succession planning in any district, we don't do a really good job of it because the current profession has so many people taxed. I'm sure Dr. Martinez has experienced this. I've experienced this. You've experienced this. If you're one of only 2 or 3 in your department, you become automatically in charge of all things Black, right? You become in charge of all things Latinx, and the amount of responsibility, and then and that's separate and aside from the students. So if we could get many things lined up, resources for succession planning, professional development, and training, and also support for folks who have been asked to do a lot of work with an impossible timeline and no resources at all. And then also too, we should be using our largest commodity as our students. Students will tell you what they need if you listen and tell you, what works for them. So if we can get industry as well as those in state and federal government working together, it is a problem that we can fix. But we have to be realistic and we have to be focused on the timeline because, it's a numbers game in the sense that historically, like over a century, people of color and women weren't even allowed to be in these positions. So of course, we're going to be a little behind. But the opportunities should remain that we can be much more aggressive in how we target and do outreach. According to the American Association of Community Colleges, out of the 12 or 1,300 community colleges, only 10% of their CEOs are Black. And that's a number that fluctuates because not everybody stays in those fields. But they talk about the programs that are working, but that may be 1 program or 2 programs to serve the entire nation. They talk about the Lincoln Institute, which is a wonderful program. I came through it before I became a college president, but that's 1 or 2 programs for the entire nation. They talk about the program that Dr. Martinez is doing, but he's 1 of 2 that's doing a program in the entire nation. So we really need many more hands on the table or people at the table to try and talk about how we can really move the needle on this, because as you know, it just takes time, but we need time, more resources, and a level of consistency.